I'm Melody. This is my sewing room. It's technically my formal dining room, but it's typically where I sew. This is my brother's sewing machine that I have been sewing on since October, and this is what I'm going to unbox today. I am super, super excited. I actually was in tears yesterday when they handed me the red envelope with my ownership papers. This is a Bernina. It is like a high-end sewing machine, and I'm going to just give you a little back history. I got this sewing machine in October of last year. I had seen some really cute fabric at Hobby Lobby, and I really wanted to make something, and I'd never sewn, and I thought, well, how much could a sewing machine be? And I found this one at Joann's, which is now sadly out of business, for $140, and this was my starter sewing machine. And one of the first things I ever made was this placemat. I had watched a Donna Jordan tutorial, and she showed how to make this placemat with the little snowballed corners, and there was a lot of quilting techniques in this little placemat, and her whole channel is quilting videos. And so it made me realize that if I could do this, then eventually I could work my way up to doing something like this. And so I did a lot with this little machine, but one of the reasons I wanted to upgrade is that when you get to the part where you need to make your quilt sandwich with your pieced top and your batting and your backing, this little machine didn't really quite have the horsepower, so I would send it to a long armor. So this like heart design here is done by a long arm machine, and it's beautiful and it looks great. I did the piecing. This part was done by a long armor, and then I added the binding. I also did this quilt on this little machine. About the only way I can finish a quilt on this one is to do straight line quilting, which I did on this one, but it's not walking foot compatible, so there's some puckers, and I was just starting to get frustrated that there were things that I wanted to do that I couldn't quite manage on this one. And my brother even asked me to make him a t-shirt quilt with all his shirts from running in college and in high school, and I just knew that this one would die because if I do more than 2 layers of fabric, it struggles. It makes a lot of noises. It just does not have the horsepower for bigger projects, and it's small. One of the things on sewing machines they call the throat space is the area from your needle to the side of your machine, and so when you're rolling up a quilt to feed it through, this one has very small space. So I learned a lot on this, and all these projects here are projects that I pieced on this machine. But yesterday I told my husband I wanted to go to Sew Special Quilts in Katy because they were having a Memorial Day sale, an extended Memorial Day sale on their sewing machines, and I wanted to go look at sewing machines, and he didn't say no. He actually said he would go with me, which at first I thought, oh, he's going with me so that he can stop me from spending money, but Adam has been very supportive of all the things that I've been trying to do. And actually when they handed me the ownership envelope, I was crying partly because it's like one thing to have a dream and something that you want to do, and it's another thing to feel the support for that. So anyway, I've done a lot with this little machine. I learned how to put zippers into bags. This is a project that I recently made, and I did this one on this little guy. But again, I think there's more things I could do, and there's more things I want to learn how to do. And one of the things I want to be able to do is finish quilts. So I made this quilt. I just finished piecing this quilt for my son. It's Minecraft pattern because he's a little boy. But I want to be able to finish the actual quilting and be able to do bigger projects like t-shirt quilts that are more layers of material because that requires interfacing without having my machine die on me. So yesterday, when I went in to look at sewing machines, what I was really most hopeful to get was something with a larger throat space, walking foot compatible so I can do straight line quilting, free motion foot, and basically something with stronger horsepower. But I'm really excited to get this thing out of the box. I'm a little intimidated because it's much bigger and fancier than what I've been sewing on, but when I tried it in the store yesterday, I think I could just do a lot more with it. I did end up getting the floor model, so they were already having a sale, but since I took the floor model one, I actually got like an additional $500 off. So that's something to keep in mind if you're shopping for a sewing machine is ask if you can buy the floor model because they might give you additional discounts, and that can be very helpful. Okay, so let's see. Oh, one thing I'm excited about. This is a table that fits over this, so you have more work surface. If you notice here, this is very small, maybe just a couple inches. This gives you a much greater work surface for when you're piecing your quilt, so you have more area to work with. So I'm excited about even this part. Thread, the stuff that keeps it from molding. Okay. Oh, yeah, this was a really cool thing. I had not seen this, never used it, but it plugs into your machine and you move your knee and this bar moves. It plugs into your machine, and then when you move your knee, you can control the foot pedal up, or you can control this up and down with your knee. This is a special bar for knee control. That was a cool function. I'd never seen that before. Okay, getting in here. This is a note from the person. My box was made by, looks like, I can't read that cursive, but this is the personalized tag from the person who made your Bernina. I was at the dealership and I was torn. I thought I was going to get a baby lock, but when I was there, the baby locks only have a 10-year warranty. The Berninas come with a 20-year warranty. So these are expected to last a long time. And they have in-store technicians. So these are more gadgets. Another thing that made me want to do this one, compared to, I was looking at a baby lock. When I went in yesterday, I thought I was going to get a baby lock, but I ended up getting the Bernina. And one thing that convinced me as well was the bobbin size. This is a normal size bobbin. This is a Bernina bobbin. It holds so much more thread, so you can sew so much longer. The baby lock still used this size bobbin, but the Bernina has a giant bobbin. So you can sew for much longer before your machine wears out. So it comes with 5. When I bought the machine, I got 5. But the large bobbin size was definitely something that convinced me that this is the one I wanted. They have all sorts of payment plans, different financing options, payment plans. So even if you think you can't do it, look for a sale or look for, like I said, we took the floor model one, so that was a way to get a discount. This is a stand that holds all of your little gadgets, and it actually will stand up, and so you can actually put all your feet for your new machine, and your bobbins can actually go in here. That was something they showed me yesterday. Okay, we're getting in here. We're making progress. There's so much packing. I promise there's a machine in here. This is the owner's manual. My mom asked me last night what the first thing was I sewed. I was like, I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. The first thing I did was I took the paperwork and I went online and I registered, because it has that 20-year warranty, but you have to register your machine. So the first thing I did last night after taking Katie to a birthday party was go online and actually register the machine so that I can make sure the warranty is activated, because I didn't want to touch it until I had the warranty activated, just in case. Okay, all right. I think I'm getting down to the real part now. They really packed this thing in here. I don't think there's any more gadgets in that. Oh my goodness. Okay, I might have to put this on the floor and then bring the machine up. This thing is so big. I don't even know. Yeah, I think I may have to move the box down and then try. Do you see why I registered for the warranty before I did this? I was so worried that I might end up messing it up before I even got to use it. Okay. But it's durable. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay. Here she is. Get all the tape off. Okay, the last thing that's in here looks to be like the dust protector bag. So there is a bag in here that is like your dust protector. So this is what can go on when you're not using it, to cover it, to keep dust from getting in the parts. one of the things I was impressed with when I was looking at the different machines is that this one, your first year cleaning and maintenance is included. I'm also going to get a new Bernina owner class. So they showed me a lot of the functions yesterday, but clearly if I've been sewing on this one and I'm going up to this, they're different brands. This one has a touch screen. It threads differently. The bobbin loads differently. On this machine, I did my bobbin loading right here. On this one, it is actually a front loading bobbin for that large bobbin size. But I'm excited because that means I can sew for longer without having to refill a bobbin. You don't have to take your main thread off or move anything. Your bobbin loader is right here. There's a thread cutter built in. This is, I think, one of the coolest things. On this machine, I had these little wheels here where I had to control the tension. So if I was making a longer stitch length or different types of thread, I had to fiddle with these knobs to try to get a decent stitch that wasn't going to come apart to get the tension right. So when I got this one, I was like, where do you do the tension adjusting? Like, where do I adjust the tension? And this was the thing that really sold me. She goes, oh no, this machine automatically adjusts the tension to your project you're working on. And I was like, mind blown. I was like, I don't have to fiddle with these knobs and try to figure out the right tension. She's like, no, this machine will do that for you. So this one is the Bernina 735, and it already, one of the parts it came with, there is a walking foot. So I have a 3-sole walking foot. So this walking foot has 3 different parts, and it has the guides. So for quilting, that means that I can finish quilts doing straight line quilting. I also did purchase a free motion foot if I want to try to get fancy, but I'll probably first try to master straight line quilting. But this one has the horsepower to get through multiple layers of fabric. And the thing with a walking foot is it should help eliminate some of those puckers that I was running into with this, because the walking foot, or they're sometimes called even feed foots, they help all the layers of the fabric go in together. So those are some things that I'm very excited about with this machine. I still have to learn all the parts, and I've already been watching some videos. I will hopefully very soon be taking my new Bernina owner class, since I'm now an owner of a Bernina. And my 9-year-old is already asking for this machine. She's already asking if she can have her old sewing machine. So this is what I've been sewing on. This is what I will be sewing on. And I'm proud of some of the stuff I've already made, but I'm excited and nervous for what I can do now with better equipment. So I just wanted to share that. That's my exciting news. That's what's going on over here with Melody Joy Quilts. So I hope y'all have a fabulous Sunday, and I am going to be playing with this new machine and trying to learn all the parts of it. I hope y'all have a great day.